Good morning, builders, and welcome to day 15 of building an AI company from scratch. So I just booted up my PC, and since the time I woke up today, I just did a little bit of being the reply guy on X. It's a strategy that pays off. Sometimes others just seems to bring no traction. I think today is kind of in between. But at the same time, it gives me data. It gives me data on what times of the day my replies bring more results, what times of the day there's more active people in X communities, like Build in Public is the one that I use the most, so that I can bring the most value and make sure that value is seen by a decent amount of people. And other things I'll be kind of testing, which got me thinking that currently, I have no data evaluation systems in place for the stuff I'm doing, apart from the analytics from social media when it comes to content, right? So I think I gotta brainstorm a bit more on how to meticulously calculate each input, how it's being, turned into an output. So that basically means making some custom Excel sheets or similar systems, which I had in place in my previous company. I was actually in charge of making these data systems, but that was because it were more concrete data, like different rates. So views to followers, followers to DMs, DMs to booked call to showed up to converted to activated to retention. And so it were different columns representing each step of a customer journey. So calculating the delta between a column and the other was basically telling us where we could improve. Now I don't have anything like this, and it's much harder to calculate because it's purely personal contribution to my personal brand and to others people's personal brands. So nothing direct that I can measure in the most concrete and mathematical way, right? So gotta figure that out. I think it will come as we go. But hey, today is day 15, so it's first day of week 3, and it's definitely time to start building something practical. So let's start today. Let's do it. Okay, I've been editing some videos, finishing up some idea tracking because I had a few ideas in the meantime. So I was taking notes, and lunch break. And then, as always, back to work. When I say the grind never stops, I mean it. Took a bathroom break, let's call it like that. And then, keep networking in the meantime. When I'm sitting here, I'm either very creative. I have a lot of notes that I take when I'm taking a shit, okay? Or I just feel a need to network with people because it's time that I don't have my PC in front of me and I can't be super productive in that way. So the minimum I can do is take my phone and discover people, find opportunities to connect. And today I'm very heavy on X. I don't know why today. I'm using X a lot. It will be helping me understand data, as I said in the intro of this video. So let's see how that goes. So I've been researching content related stuff. I've been cleaning up my AI library a little bit because ultimately I want to automate it. I want it to be a place where there's a search bar. You describe the tool you want, or the automation you want to build, or the article you're looking for, whatever, and it just pulls information from the library. So in order for me to do something like this, I need to understand what kind of order I want to bring to the library. Is it an order based on labels? So tools belong in specific categories and I kind of retrieve information like that? Or do I want to use context of like the tool itself. So do I want this potential automation to go into each link and scrape the information from the link and use it as context for the output to give to the user? That's probably the most accurate solution. But it's also very expensive in terms of like execution. Because imagine you look for a specific tool, the first filtering out action that it does is just, I don't know, if you write, I want a copywriting tool for ads, for sure it's not going to suggest you like development tools or articles, because you asked for a tool and you ask for a kind of industry or niche that tool operates in. So it filters out everything else, and that's fine. But still, like, I have like 8 to like 10 tools about CV writing only. That's just an example that I got right now. So even if it's just 10, extracting all info from each website to suggest you the best one requires some like computational power in the backend that of course is offloaded to an LLM through an API, but that gets I don't know how expensive it can actually get. Now with LLMs with huge context models up to like multiple millions, shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, I think I basically need to structure the way I want the answer to be formatted, the way I want the library to look like. So that's what I kind of did a little bit, also by updating it, because that's something that I do once or twice a week. So I looked at all my newsletters, all the tools on X, all like Product Hunt and all the repositories to kind of update the library. So between that and updating it and a few other like interactions on X, that's how the past few hours went by. And talking about X, I want to show you, I want to do a quick break right now to do more X interactions. And I want to show you how I'm currently handling them, because I'm loving the way Super Whisper is helping me with being a reply guy. So let me show you. So I just go back to my X, and yeah, I comment on things. Matt Gray, stop reading 100 books, focus on taking action. Let me comment. That's so true. But at the same time, people need a baseline to start from. Sometimes it's useful TikTok videos. Other times it's books. Whatever the resource is, just make sure you don't just save it, bookmark it, or note it down, but you can actually turn it into actionable execution. That's it. I'm also using a different model. And by the way, I've got 6 minutes left of pro usage. So I'm going to see what happens when I run out of that, how it works, basically. Because right now I'm using GPT-4o Mini, which is a language model, not a voice model. And yeah, language model understand also the context, like the web page or the app you're using to basically transcribe. So it's not just transcription, it's context enriched. Yeah, coming back to what it wrote, I find myself just adding some spacing, and I go and I post. It's very fast. So let's refresh. Why follow someone else's system when you can make your own that is at least half as good as and twice as fun? But at the same time, most of the systems you might need are already made, or some iterations of a similar system for sure is present somewhere else. So if you can start something that isn't entirely from scratch, just do it. Make it your own and execute it. There we go. Most of the systems you might need. Yeah. That's it. And I can be so fast. This one, when someone pays and never uses it, what am I supposed to feel here? Them paying you makes them customers. If they don't use the tool, that's basically lack of activation. So make sure to always talk with your customers. Don't be afraid of reminding them to use the tool, just in case they forgot they're paying and you might lose the payment and they might churn. Just openly talk with all customers, no matter how much they're spending or how much they're being active. Then implement the feedback. That's it. Okay, in this case, probably I want to make some adjustments here. So I'll go here. So make sure to always talk with your customers. Don't be afraid of reminding them. And you feel like you might lose the payment. I mean, you feel like they might churn. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this makes me so fast on literally everything. I can go to new post that I know might be relevant, somewhat relevant, and be one of the first to comment, just because I can be super fast with this. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. What happened? I got a pop-up saying that I ran out of the free minutes for the pro models. So it's basically making me install the standard model so that I can continue using it. And I want to see the difference. So yeah, I'll just play around with a few models that I can keep using for free, see what's kind of the best, and actually understand if it makes sense for me to pay these $8 per month, because this is really good. Like, I see myself using this not only for being the reply guy, but for kind of everything I do. So yeah, let's see. Okay, so this is a bit crazy. X is actually stopping me from adding answers this way. It's crazy that there's people engagement farming with AI tools writing their answers, but if you have an AI dictation app that just transcribes what you are genuinely saying, they block you. This is fucked up. So I asked Grok. I asked for specific limits, and it looks like there's the reflection of the camera here, but whatever. It looks like you can do 2,400 posts per day, but that's clearly not my issue. And they suggest you post basically around 200 posts in an hour, which is like, they suggest also 50 to 100 every 30 minutes. I wasn't actually going anywhere close to that amount. And now they basically, this is a API things, but I'm not posting through an API, it's just dictation. So I'll see how that goes. I'll try to push this limit. I'll try to do it again. I disconnected all other apps from my account that had access to my account. So yeah, I'll see how that goes. But I think that's pretty much it when it comes to X for today. It's 11 p.m. So I'll just do 1 hour of learning, specifically about NA10 and some new news about that. Some new news, Dom. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm dumb. Basically, you can now use MCPs natively inside of NA10. You can use this server-wise and client-wise. So you can create an automation and, let's say, use Cursor or any other app and make that thing access the automation on NA10 as if it's a tool. So by natural language, you can tell that other app to call and use that automation on its own and figure out how to use it. And same applies for the opposite. So basically, you can tell your automation to use any external tool directly, like within NA10, which you could do, but it wasn't a native solution. It was like you had to build it a bit differently. So that's what I'm gonna research a little bit. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys in the daily recap. And there we go with the daily recap. If you don't know, this part of the video is divided into 3 sub parts. The first one is community feedback, where I interact with you guys, especially replying to your comments on YouTube, but also your DMs on Instagram and Twitter. So if you have anything to ask me, or if you want to connect for anything you might possibly need, feel free to do that. Second thing, I do data track. So I keep track of everything that happens every single day. So I just compare how the situation in terms of balance and followers changed from the day before. And third thing, I do some strategy, meaning I brainstorm on what's next, what I will probably do tomorrow, and what my current situation is. So kind of evaluating at a high level perspective. So let's start with the community feedback. Muhannad says, nice, with a little heart, giving you a heart back, my brother. Thank you for the support as always. Then there's Snoop Master, that you already know him. You know him probably better than me. Yeah, he's on a streak since day one probably. And he literally commented 9 seconds after I uploaded. Love you, bro. Thank you so much for the support.
Always him. By the way, just letting you know, you can make the Discord public and let everyone join, but keep certain aspects behind certain roles that you allow yourself. Yeah, I know that. That's actually what I'm going to do with the Discord app that I showed in day 14. I just didn't do it today because I worked on other things that you'll see later. Like you already know, but you'll see the recap later. So yeah, but thank you for the suggestion. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to make different tiers in a way of accessibility, not, gatekeeping that behind price, but behind, let's say, contribution, something like that. Noob Master again. This way you can expand the community while making sure that only those who are genuinely interested have the access to the core stuff that you're working on. Exactly. Like anyone who joins gets the resources and roadmaps you're assembling, but they cannot contribute to your cause or work alongside you until you give the roles. This will be better in the future too, as Discord now has subscription as well, so you can charge access to. Plus, you'll have an audience on Discord as the server is public. Just an idea. Exactly, yeah. That is what I'm gonna do. So appreciate that you are already liking the overall ecosystem I'll be building. Basil418 says, bro, how much do you make all this time? Now, if you're referring to the series, so from day 0 to day 14, nothing. I actually only spent money. If you're referring to anything prior to this, I don't have an exact number. As I said in my I quit video, which is I consider it as my day 0 video, I basically lost 6 figures in total. At one point I was close to $500,000 and I lost everything for multiple reasons that I discussed in that video. Not in details, but overall you can see my failures, and just know that there was money being made, money being invested, things were going good until they weren't anymore. Federico, hey weather guy, you could never leave where I live. I know. He lives in Turin. I live in the south of Italy. So yeah, me complaining about the weather in the south, like what should he say, right? It's worse weather in the north. But you're right, yeah, I gotta be more grateful. Federico again, I personally experimented vibe marketing in my work, creating super interesting ads. Just using ChatGPT without any advanced tools is still amazing and kind of revolutionary marketing process. Exactly, that's what it is. Like, you can just use ChatGPT and XAI, so Grok, and OpenAI, so ChatGPT, are competing. I would throw Google with Gemini into this mix. Probably Google even more than those two, because Google now has Firebase Studio, it has the A2A, agent-to-agent protocol, it has agents called gems, so you can coordinate, it has Notebook LM, it has so many different things in its AI ecosystem that it's genuinely impressive. So I think what those companies are kind of aiming at is creating a super ecosystem where with one thing you can do everything. So it's true that as we go, it's easier to build apps and fulfill your dreams because you can build and ship anything with AI. But at the same time, bigger companies will always be able to build products or acquire products that basically take over anything else in the industry. And this is something that, like the monopoly type of concept, it's always been discussed in history, from Toyota making the first affordable and durable cars. People back then thought Toyota is going to literally produce every cars in the world in like 20-30 years. That wasn't the case. Or with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only crypto and it will take over everything else and nothing else would exist outside of it. Again, disproved. I think AI could potentially be an exception to this, because AI tools become less expensive thanks to competition in the market. But at the same time, the companies at the top keep making more money because they are the underlying infrastructure used by any other product. So you have to pay them for APIs and all that stuff. So they can acquire products built with their own ecosystem or simply build their own and overtake, as I said, anything else. So this is my thesis. And that's why I think for the next like 5 years, you're super early. 5 to 10 years, there's the risk that a single company has a monopoly of AI. You can literally go to this company just like you went to Google to do your research, to a point where Yahoo, Bing, they weren't really relevant, let's be honest. So Google got the closest to implementing a monopoly in the digital world. I think OpenAI or Google again, or XAI with the resources Elon Musk has, like one of those three will be that. Not saying everything else will disappear. A true perfect monopoly will never exist in history, like ever. But I would say like 90 to 95% will be kind of owned and operated by a single company. And that company will be mine. No, I'm joking. I'm not aiming that high because it's not within my plans, but who knows. Now let's check X. So here I DM'd a few guys that I connected with through comments that don't have X Premium, so I had to DM them. Cheyenne says, I want to ask, have you vibe coded any app? No, I haven't. I haven't tried it yet. That's next. Gonna do this soon. I'm learning so that when I do vibe coding, I know what's happening. I don't have to go back and forth a lot, because I still will, but not a lot, to like finding problems, solving them, finding bugs, solving them. I'll kind of have everything properly set up for me to vibe code seamlessly. Personally, I'm a developer. Also, like, how are you doing regarding marketing? My marketing right now is just my branding. So I do content on YouTube, IG, X, TikTok, and that's it. I am not marketing a single product because I don't have a product. I'm just the product itself, right? So that's how I am marketing. The art of marketing yourself is called branding. That's what I'm doing. I had a conversation here with Augustine Cosiso. We talked about what he's doing. He's been following me. I think he's been the subscriber number 400, if I don't go wrong. So thank you, man. Let's check the message request now. Avini says, hi Dom, I really appreciate your content in the various socials. I found you for your YouTube and really resonate with authenticity. I wish the best of luck for you and your endeavors. Thank you so much. I was hoping if I could ask you about social strategies. I understand you are quite busy, so no problem if you are not able to respond. I myself am also an aspiring entrepreneur attempting to start the building in public strategy. I'm actually starting a series to develop an MVP in a month, but I also feel that the documenting and socials are really important. However, this then leads to many things to deal with, and thus if I focus too much on building, I lose out on content because I have so much content to edit. Correct. That's why I hired King, my editor. Would you recommend getting an editor? Yes. If so, what is the expected cost of one? Like, are good ones found on Fire and Upwork? Because my clips are like 2-3 hours long because I am documenting the building too. Also, do you organically find posts to post on the various socials through other creators? Thank you so much if you are able to spare the time to respond. Once again, keep going with the content and the authenticity. It's aspiring, sincerely, Aaron. Wow, this is probably the longest message I've ever received so far in this journey. So you are basically awarded a recognition, kind of like the longest message medal that I fucking love. So guys, if I am not going through some other message requests, it's because I think what I'm gonna do right now will take a bit of time. But let's dive into this. Okay, so you are right here. If you develop an MVP only and market its features or just the end of it, trust me, you aren't gonna sell a single subscription or whatever you're doing with that, right? And this is a problem I had as well with my content back when I was in the NFT industry. I made content before I was building anything. Started building the NFT agency thanks to the people that I generated from my content. They became leads, they became clients, but that made me lose touch with the content creation. So I stopped making content, and on the long term, I suffered from that. Business suffered from that. So yeah. But at the same time, here you asked if you have to get an editor. I think so. If you want to do something similar to what I'm doing, you just have to do that, right? Because the alternative is sleeping like 4 to 6 hours per day and doing everything else on your own. Is it possible? Yes. Is it sustainable long term? No. You have to find the perfect balance between work and personal like growth and well-being. Now, I do have an alternative because editors are, you can expect an average editor. I actually had some messaging from editors, so I can literally forward those messages to you. I can connect you with the editors that I didn't work with because I already have one. I'm getting almost a new message from an editor every day or every other day. So, and I know there's a couple of them that ask me like $200, $300. The quality is very low, but if you want to do simple cuts and captions, it's enough. It's good enough. And you can get, you can get that pretty fast up and going. If you want an editor like King, who's my editor, that's a bit more expensive. I want to disclose the exact number. You see, I'm trolling here because I'm actually disclosing everything on my X in the daily recaps. So you see that once a week there's a minus $150 to the editor, and yes, that's exactly what I'm paying my editor, $150 per week, which ends up being like $600 per month. So that's what you can expect from a more experienced editor. But I actually got a few more that I talked with that ask you for $1,000. So that's not sustainable. If that's not sustainable, because maybe you do have the investment to do that, but if it's not sustainable, I suggest you get Tilla. Tilla is this fantastic app over here, the one that I'm also recording with right now, and it adds layouts. You can literally turn a clip from wide to vertical or square by just going to layout and selecting like which mode you want. So like in this case, boom, the video is literally transformed. So there's literally so many options you can do. You can have here. You can customize colors. You can customize borders, captions, like zooms, automatic zooms. You can trim out ums and like filler words. So you can use this. I think if I'm not wrong, it's $144 per year. So that's literally how much I'm paying my editor for a week. And you can use that. It's not the best, but you can play around with it, and they're shipping a lot of updates. So that literally makes you hit record, and you can do the editing within the app itself. Maybe let's say you're working on a feature of the app, you hit record and you just record your screen. Of course, you have to be careful with that, because if you're showing API keys, like, you know what I mean, I don't have to tell you this, but that's why I kind of want to do recording, especially when I'll be building. I won't directly record the screen. I'll probably put the camera far away so that you see I'm coding, but you don't see exactly everything. I don't want to mess up. So that's a suggestion I have for you, and you can edit everything in here. Maybe you work on 2 hours. For 2 hours on that feature, you stop the recording, you can resume it, and that is a clip. So you create multiple clips, you can edit them, you can add a clip to another video, you can import clips, not only record clips. So if you recorded something from somewhere else, I have a bug on my screen over here, I'm just gonna let it live for now. You can simply like import stuff in here if it's recorded from the outside, so you can kind of have a consistent branding. If you look at my TikTok and Instagram, you will see that I have like this yellow thumbnails with the yellow bands on the sides, and I'm using this for the right and left columns, while the middle one is the more polished short form content that my editor makes. So that's what I'm experimenting with. In your case, you can literally be all branded like this, same color, same captions, so it's consistent, it's branding. It technically falls within the branding spectrum. So you're doing that just at $140 per year. That's my suggestion for that. Also, do you organically find posts to post on the various socials through other creators? Absolutely. I have, these are my bookmarks. So many things in here. I have one that specifically, it's post inspiration. So where I kind of save them. I don't want to leave them without context. So what I do is either on my phone or here, I go to share and save tweet to Fabric, and then I add extra context, sorry. So basically I know why I saved this, and I can simply go to my Fabric and ask, let's say, retrieve some ideas that you think are most valuable right now. We actually refresh here. So I gotta go home. Yeah, so that's what I would do. I would call my assistant, and my assistant would basically retrieve anything I need. Fabric is $6 per month if you want to build your second brain. So have like stuff in here that is used for coding or updates, or you want to save content with something that adds more context than just a bookmark. That's how I'm kind of using it. And you can also do voice notes. I'm doing a lot of voice notes here when I'm on the go and I want to save my ideas. They're all here. I don't lose them. I just search. Don't have to be specific about the exact thing I said, because there's an integrated AI in here that does that for me. That's pretty much it. This is just a complete strategy you can use, because that's what I'm using. Is it the perfect one? Probably not. But will this get you going? 100%. I think it's the most value you can get for the input and the effort you are basically putting into this. There's nothing else right now that brings as much value and return on your time investment than building in public. Literally nothing. I've been studying this. If you watched day 0 and day 1, there's the whole research I did, market research, in-depth analysis of other creators, of other AI builders. Like literally the only two things that are growing and will grow forever are content and AI. So just put the two together and you'll see that this makes perfect sense. So let's do the data tracking now. Balance remained unchanged, still minus $319. Followers, I'm gonna add this emoji when it's the best day, and yes, it's the best day. Gained 46 followers, 24 on X, single best day on X. And that's due to me being the reply guy, and it's related to this. I'll let you know right now. 1 on Instagram, 3 on YouTube, and 18 on TikTok. It's amazing for me. Like some people I'm getting a bit emotional on this. Bear with me. Some people get 46 followers every minute or every hour. For me, making 46 followers a day, this is huge, especially on X. Like out of those 24 people, there's 20 that are verified users, premium users, other builders. And this does two things. It emotionally fills me with joy, because most of them are DMing me, they are gaining value from what I post. So it's real interactions. And it gets me closer to the monetization requirement of 500 verified followers. I'm still very far from 5 million impressions. I am, I don't remember if it's 5 millions. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's 5 million impressions in the last 3 months. And I am currently at, 126. So that's basically not even 10%. So, but the followers, it's half of the requirement. I'm literally almost at half of it, which is amazing considering I made 20 today only. And in the last, since I started, I think I made those 50-ish verified followers. So this is huge, and I can see my efforts. Like I can see a peak in replies corresponding to a peak in impressions, and it's truly that. That's literally what I needed. I had no post go viral yet, but being the reply guy is paying off so far, like a lot. You see, I still have replies coming in. When it comes to progress, I added 20 more tools and resources to my AI library, and I'll be rolling out not the entire library, but curated parts of the library that I vet, that I check again, because tools that enter my library, I already checked them. Tools that will go from the library to the resources section channel on Discord, they will be even more vetted, probably to the point where I have to try them before suggesting them, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing in the next few days. Probably starting tomorrow, I'll start to roll out a few more things in the Discord. Then I tried Super Whisper app all day, and it's great even at the free version. You saw this already. I'm not upgrading, guys. I'm not upgrading because the only thing, literally the only thing that changes without the premium tier is that it's slower. That's it, which is perfect for me because I have to write slower replies. Otherwise, X flags me as a bot. And with slower, I'm talking from instant transcription to message to 3, maximum 5 seconds wait. That's literally the only difference I saw. I kept GPT-4o Mini. I don't know if it's a bug or anything, but I'm using a model that they're paying for, but I'm not paying for, because I didn't put my API key. So I guess don't tell them, but but I don't know. It's working great so far. I can actually okay. Let's install a update. Now, while the update, I don't know if you're seeing this because I'm recording Arc only, the browser only, but Super Whisper asked for an update, and I'm doing that right now. Another thing I did today was to learn some practical application of MCPs for NA10 and vibe coding. So this is basically part of this. It's a resource that I consumed, that I learned. I've been using DR browser to help me with the learning to a point where I basically can structure resources for you guys to consume, even if you don't have DR browser. So I'm using that to standardize learning material and kind of everything I consume. And you can have access to this in my Discord. When it comes to strategy, I have nothing major right now. I think I gotta make a decision on some more things to pay, like inevitably, like maybe Cursor or Windsurf or Lovable or any of these tools when I have to vibe code, as well as NA10 if I want to self-host it, or if for convenience I can just pay the hosted one. And yeah, those are the main ones, but also Tela. The second week of the free trial is running out, so I gotta make a decision. So there will be, for sure, this number, I guess, will change tomorrow, the balance number. So yeah, strategy-wise, I think I'm good, because all those people I'm interacting with, they are other builders. So I do have a lot of testers. I do have you guys in the Discord, even if it's just 3 of you so far. So I think I'm always on the good track. It hurts to see you spending money, especially because what you see here that I'm spending, it's not all I'm spending. Of course, I have to leave. I have to survive. And so it's not easy, but I'm not worried at all. Like, if I think about the micro, so when I do the transaction, it hurts a little bit, but just for a couple minutes, because I'm very good. One thing I'm very good at is zooming out. Yeah, crypto kind of forged me with this. And I know that every expense is nothing compared to what I will make in a few weeks or months. I don't care. Like this number here right now, $319, I'll make that in a day. I'm 100% confident. You can write this down and come back to this video. I'm 100% confident I'll make this in an hour at one point. So I am not worried at all. At all. I'll just keep spending. And if I hit a wall where I literally make calculations and I can't survive to sustain this, I'll pivot. I'll find a solution. As you know from day 0 and day 1 videos, I have big connections. I can get investments to fuel whatever I want to do. And I think I won't completely run out of money. At least I'm good for the next like couple months, 2-3 months. Yeah, maybe 4. Depends how I kind of manage my finances also personally. But I have no doubts I have something going on to at least cover the expenses and allow me to keep me scale by then. Literally no doubts. And that's the type of conviction you guys need to have. You can't settle for anything less. That's it. There's no secret to this. You either borrow money, or you make some money and invest it in yourself, or you are a loser. Loser in terms of entrepreneurship, it's not for you. That's it. So this basically marks the end of day 15. Thank you guys for watching, supporting, sending me messages. You guys can ask personal questions too, like anything you want to know about me. I'm a social experiment now. Everything about me is open source. Ask me anything about how I made my money, how I'm planning to make my money, how I'm planning to build things. The things I'm already using, because I'm sure I miss a lot of things that it doesn't come natural for me to share because it's part of my routine so much that I find a natural kind of subconscious actions, right? Or ask me about like what's my philosophy on X or on Y or anything. Literally, you can dissect me, and I'm here for this. That being said, see you guys in day 16, and let's keep building.